Hello everyone, this is Geoffrey Henderson. Thank you so much for coming to our YouTube channel. It is a love. Really appreciate you guys being here today. We are here at the Christmas season by now. So for those who are celebrating Christmas this coming week as of this video, I want to wish you guys Merry Christmas. That's the first thing I wanted to get behind me and say before we get into our topic, okay? So today's topic is going to be called We Have Nothing in Common and How to Fix It. Okay, so I want to do kind of like both about that. Okay, so let's talk about this whole thing about that we have nothing in common, because those things are actually happening in relationships. Okay, it is very common that you have a lot of people being together that are not having any commons in their daily habits or routine. You know, one person has one interest, the other person has another interest, and if you don't really pay attention, you may have a very, very boring relationship. Okay, so let's talk about that, and let's talk about the cause and why these things happen and why people that have two different types of interests get together in the first place. Okay, let's talk about that first. Okay, I personally believe that the reason why people get together in the first place, obviously, is because of physical attraction. Okay, you meet a new person and the first thing you see that really gets your interest in the other person is the physical, because you don't know anything about the person. You don't know what kind of hobbies the person has, you don't know what kind of belief the person has, what kind of philosophy the person has, what kind of family orientation the person has. You don't know nothing. You only know what the person looks like, you know, what really gets you attracted to the person, and you spark interest and you want to get to know the person on a deeper level, even going on a date with the person. Okay, so this is usually what happens. You know, you see somebody, you go on the first date, you're very attractive, and you step it up one notch. You may be even falling in love, and you may you know, want to spend more time with the person and want her to be your girlfriend, want him to be your boyfriend, whatever, you know, because all you see is the physical. Okay, this is why it is so important that you really discuss a lot of things on your first date or when you get together first, you know, before you get into a deeper relationship, because you never know if you guys are going to get along in the long run if you have nothing in common. Okay, it is so important that you really learn these things about each other before you take it to the next level, before you take your relationship very, very serious. Okay, number two, now that you're together and you really have not listened to what I said, or you have not really pay attention to anything else but physical attraction, and now you're in a deeper relationship, maybe you even move together, what is happening now is the cold truth. The cold truth is now that you're gonna find out that you guys have really nothing in common, you know, and day by day you start to realize your differences that you have not really discovered in the first place, because like I said before, you know, you were really focusing on the physical thing, not the emotional, the hobbies, the interests, anything like that. You don't know nothing about that. Okay, and what happens is now that you may be even very close together, you moved in together, you may even be engaged or even married, and so far along you were able to do your own thing. But what happens is that in time what's going to happen is that you're living together in one place. Eventually you're going to run over each other with your differences, you know, and you really start to get extremely bored, and you're trying to focus on the things that really brought you guys together in the first place, but you can't really remember what it is because you really have absolutely nothing in common. Absolutely nothing in common. Okay, and now that you're stuck, now you have to work it out. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do on a daily basis? You know, you're gonna have a boring relationship. You're gonna have a relationship that is like maybe falling apart. Maybe you're gonna get separated. You're gonna get divorced, anything like that. What are you gonna do? That's the question. That's the whole cold truth right there. Okay, you have to try to work this out. You have to try to make this work. But how are you gonna do that? Well, that's why I'm here, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Okay, The other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is, besides the cold truth, is the daily struggle. It will be a struggle, you know. You may be able to do this for a couple of months, maybe even for a year or two. You'll be able to live along but in peace, and you have your differences, but it's not going to really bother you because you're okay, you're content with your own hobbies. But trust me, what happens is that the daily struggle will eventually come. For some people, it comes earlier. From other people, it may come later, but it will come eventually, okay? The daily struggle, it will come. I promise you that, okay? And what's going to happen is that you're going to start seeing other people that, you know, maybe other couples, they have a really wonderful time together. They're laughing together. They do things together. They are really engaging in their love with each other. And you look at yourself, at each other, and you're going to be like, why don't we have that? Why can't we have this kind of harmony in our relationship? Why can't we be like them? Why do we have to be always doing things on our own and be separate and do our own thing? Yes, I'm happy doing this, but you know what? I want to do something with my fiance, with my wife together, but I don't know what we can do together because we got absolutely nothing in common. We have absolutely nothing in common. Let me go to a bigger screen so you can see me better, okay? That's the very important thing, you know, you have absolutely nothing in common. So what is the solution? What is the solution? What can you do in order to have a more I don't know how to say this word, but harmonistic, whatever, relationship, and how can you make this happen? So I have a few pointers that I can give you where you can actually spice up your relationship and actually really focus on spending more time together instead of on a separate basis, okay? Number one, which I think is extremely important, okay? You have to be open-minded to submit. Basically, be open-minded and submit. Meaning that be open to do something different. You know, something that you have never done before. And that counts for both of you guys. It counts for the female and for the male, okay? For both of you guys. If you try to do something different that you have never done before, you may be surprised that you both have the same interests. All of a sudden you say, you know what, I never did this before, let me try this out, and the other person, guess what, likes the same thing, and there you are. All of a sudden you have something that you can both do together, and you can enjoy each other in the process of whatever it is that you discovered in your relationship, okay? Work on that. If you really have absolutely nothing in common, try to do new things. You may be surprised that you have so many more things in common that you don't have in common because you tried to do new things, you stepped on new territory, and so voila, you're gonna have a very prosperous relationship out of nowhere, okay? Number two, if this doesn't help, if you may cannot find anything in common or whatever, the other thing I can suggest is, if you have children or you want to have children, your children may unite you. What I'm saying by that is that even though the parents have nothing in common, normally the parents always like to spend time with their child, you know, in either way, which means that both of you have a common interest already. You both have the same interest in their child. You want to spend time with the child. You want to do nice things with the child, go to a birthday party with the child. You may just want to sit there and relax and enjoy watching your child enjoying himself or herself, okay? This is something that you can do together to spend time together, you know? This is something that you can do that you have both same thing in common. You can actually enjoy the child together, you know? The child will be able to bring you closer together because you both are focusing on the child, and by that, you are both doing the same thing, and you never know what's going to happen, you know? You may enjoy your child doing this, or you want to engage with your child in certain activities, and by that, you're engaging with each other because you're doing everything together at the same time, all right? Number three that I can suggest help you guys in helping you out by finding things in common is that you have to go back and you have to remember what brought you together in the first place. Obviously, it was a physical attraction. You know, that's what I was talking about before, you know. You were actually interested in each other because you were physically attracted. Maybe you were even sexually attracted. You really enjoyed these intimate moments, you know. And what I can suggest on top of that is that you really focus you on spending more time with that, believe it or not, okay? Just do the things that you love to do at the first place. Maybe you had a few things in common. Maybe you like to go out together a lot because back then when you were just meeting, obviously you go out on a date. You maybe go on the park and take a walk. You know, all the things that you did in your first time when you met because you just met the person. Focus on these things because those things are normally things that you both had in common, because otherwise you wouldn't be together in the first place, okay? This could also help if you spend more time on that. And this is my personal advice that I can give you to help you guys to spend more time together and maybe find a solution. Because at the end of the day, guys, I want everyone to have a beautiful relationship, to be together. But what's important is that you have to submit to one another. You have to accept each other's differences, try to gain or go into new territory and try new things in order to grow your relationship and come together, okay? If one of you guys are stubborn or prideful and don't want to change for the other person or don't want to change for the benefit of the relationship, then there's nothing I can do to help you, okay? This is very important. All right, guys, so with that said, guys, as of this video, I want to wish you guys Merry Christmas. Please leave a comment below and subscribe and share. I would really appreciate that. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out, guys.